What's going on, everybody? This is Deshaun Terrell, host of the Belted Boys YouTube channel. And today we're going to go over my NBA picks and predictions for November 5th. Let's get right into it. First game up, we have the Washington Wizards at the Boston Celtics. 7 o'clock p.m. EST. Celtics are currently favored by 12.5. Over under 231.5. Quick injury news. Chris Middleton is out for this game, so that won't move the needle for me anyway. Won't spend too much time on this game, but Celtics minus 12.5 or nothing. I mean, we're not going to sit here and lay points with the Wizards. I don't care where it's at. I mean, if it was at home, then maybe. But on the road at TD Garden, Boston just lost at home to the Utah Jazz. I mean, they're just going to take their anger out on the Wizards. It's just as simple as that. They're going to take their anger on the Wizards, and they're going to take them out on the woodshed tonight. So, Celtics minus 12.5. And in terms of the total, I lean under 231.5. And I know that would probably be like, well, if you lean under, then maybe I'll watch them plus 12.5 bet. No, absolutely not. I think this total could still go under and Celtics still cover this. So, yeah, Celtics minus 12.5 or the under 231.5. In this one, next game up, we have the Philadelphia 76ers at the Cleveland Cavaliers. Also being played at 7 o'clock p.m. EST. Cavs are currently favored by 10.5. Over under 233.5. Quick injury news: Sam Merrill, Jared Allen, and Darius Garland are all game time decisions. And quick injury note for not really injury, but Philly is on a back-to-back with travel. I don't see how Philly can give that game up. I had a Philadelphia 76ers money line ticket. They were up 24 in the second half, and they blew the game. I mean, I don't know how that happens, but it is what it is. On to the next, but that's just a really, really tough loss for Philly, and they outplayed the hell out of Chicago, and they still found a way to lose that game. So I don't see them coming into Cleveland, especially, like I said, off a back-to-back and being the Cavaliers. And what I've been hearing from Cleveland is that Darius Garland may make his return tonight, and they might might have a fuller roster with, some of their key pieces returning tonight. And this is just a bad spot for Philadelphia right here. I know Philadelphia's been playing good basketball. Whether it's turned into wins or losses, doesn't matter. They've been playing good basketball as of late. But if I can get Cleveland here and some of these game time decisions can go to probables and stuff like that, I think this number will balloon. I think Cleveland is going to blow the doors off of Philadelphia here. Because like I said, I mean, Cleveland just has the rest advantage, and Philadelphia is coming off a back-to-back. So it'd be Cleveland minus 10.5 in this one. Next game up, we got the Utah Jazz at the Detroit Pistons, 7 o'clock p.m. EST. Pistons are currently favored by 10.5, over under 230.5. Quick injury news for the Pistons: Tobias Harris and Marcus Sasser are both ruled out, and Walker Kessler is still out for the Utah Jazz. Last time we seen Utah was at Boston, getting 10.5, and they won the game outright. Some questionable calls late in that game, but oh well, it doesn't matter. And the Detroit Pistons. I mean, last time we seen them out, I think they were at Memphis. Beat them outright. Cover 2, 4.5. But Pistons are back home. Are we ready to lay 10.5 with the Pistons right now? I would have to say no. But if anything, I probably want to attack the total. I'd probably lean the over 230.5 right here. I think both of these teams are going to be able to score at a really, really good rate. Like I said, Utah, like I said, last time we saw them when they were in Boston, they showed they can score with them. Even if Boston are hitting threes, they can still score with them. Pistons, same way. They went to Memphis, and I thought that Detroit would struggle there, and no, they did not. I think they put up, 120-something? So, yeah, it'd be the over or nothing for me. I'm not ready to lay 10.5 points with the Pistons at home. And like I said, I can easily see Detroit blowing the doors off of the Utah Jazz. And I can also see Utah covering. So if I had to play this game, it would definitely be the over 230.5 in this one. Next game up, we have the Brooklyn Nets at the Indiana Pacers, 7 o'clock p.m. EST. Pacers are currently getting 6.5 points at home, over under 232.5. Quick injury news for the Pacers: Ray J. Dennis is probable. Pacers are still dealing with a bunch of injuries. Still no Benedict Mathurin, no Obi Toppin, no Halliburton, no McConnell, no. They're just still banged up, missing some core pieces, and Brooklyn, they're still throwing out their lineup that they're throwing out there. It's just as simple as right. Like, do you trust Indiana? Do you trust Indiana now and trust that they're putting everything together to be a lowly Nets team? I'm going to say yes. I'm going to trust the Pacers here to cover the 6.5. Brooklyn is terrible. They're not playing good basketball, and they're on the road right here. I just think that the Pacers are going to have too much offense. And I know the Nets can score, but the Nets style of offense is like one-on-one. Cam Thomas or Michael Porter Jr. just chuck the ball up. Even though they do be hitting some contested shots, they're not good shots. But, I mean, they be greening them. So it is what it is. But that style of offense, I don't think is going to get it done here. It's too inconsistent for me. And like I said, the Pacers are starting to get their confidence back. They're starting to realize that, hey, even with those main guys out, we're starting to figure things out. And we can hang with these teams and get wins. So they're putting everything together right now. I think they're not going to play as good as if they had everyone there, but I think they play pretty well here tonight against a Brooklyn team who's really reeling right now, and doesn't have a win. They don't get a win here. So yeah, give me the Pacers minus 6.5. In this one, we got the Minnesota Timberwolves at the New York Knicks, 7:30 p.m. EST. Knicks are currently favored by 5.5. Over under 229.5. Anthony Edwards is a game time decision for this game, so watch out for that. But man, Knicks at home getting 5.5. It's the Timberwolves. Julius Randle coming back to Madison Square Garden. Karl-Anthony Towns facing his former team. I don't know. I think this game could go either way. I mean, if Anthony Edwards does play in this game, then Knicks will probably still be favored, but they'll probably be favored by 3 right here. I think he'll move about 2.5 points in favor of the Timberwolves. But man, this is not a game that I'm in love with right here. The total is really low as well, 229.5. That feels pretty low. I would probably still lean the under 229.5 just because I think both of these teams are built to stop each other. I think they really are built to stop each other. And, like I said, they could really get into some offensive slumps sometimes. So if I had to play this game, I'd play the under 229.5, even though that's a low total. I'm just, like I said, I'm just not really too in love with this game. If I had to choose a side, I would probably lean the Knicks minus the 5.5 just because they're at home. Also, this is a Dante DiVincenzo revenge game too. I forgot about him. Yeah. See, now I kind of want to. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with it. I would lean Knicks minus the 5.5, but my main play would probably be the under 229.5. Just really not too in love with this game at all. Next game up, we got the Houston Rockets at the Memphis Grizzlies. 8 o'clock p.m. EST game. Rockets currently favored by 7.5. Over under 232.5. Quick injury news for the Rockets. Jabari Smith Jr. and Steven Adams are both game time decisions, so keep a lookout on the injury report for them. But Memphis. We said that we like taking Memphis at home. We did that against the Detroit Pistons, and The game was close. Don't get me wrong. The game was close. It was competitive. The Grizzlies were hanging around. They were hanging around. But then, their wheels just fell off and they ran out of gas. And the Pistons just took advantage of that and ran it up. I still thought it was a really, really good spot. If I had to bet that, I would bet that 9 out of 10 times. I would still take the Grizzlies plus the 4.5. I just thought it was a good spot for them back at home. Now they're coming back to the crib and facing the Rockets team, who is really, really good defensively. And honestly, I don't see how this gets over the total. I would lean in under 232.5. I believe in the Rockets scoring options, but I don't believe that they're going to score a lot here. I think Memphis can still show some defensive fight in this game. Excuse me. And two, like I said, I just like betting Memphis at home. I know they bit me last game, but I'm gonna give them another chance here. I'm gonna go with Memphis plus a 7.5. I know there's things going on between the coach staff and John Morant that can mean a lot for the team morale, especially with their star player beefing out with your coaching staff. I mean, that's just not good. But I just think that these are one of those spots and situations where we're just gonna go with it again and see what it does. I mean, it might be another loser, but they just gonna have to get their doors blown off right here. Like I said, is the Rockets the better team? Yes, I fully understand that, but it's just Memphis and Memphis, man. They just play a different brand of basketball. And like I said, you saw in their last game against Detroit at home, they played a lot better. So give me Memphis plus a 7.5. But I would mainly lean the under 232.5. And this one, next game up, we got the New Orleans Pelicans at the Dallas Mavericks, 8:30 p.m. EST. Mavericks are currently favored by 7.5, over under 226.5. Injury news for the Pelicans: Wes Missy and Zion Williamson will not suit up for this game. In Dallas, they're still missing their core guys. No Derek Lively, no Anthony Davis, so no Kyrie. Pelicans got their first win last night at home against the Charlotte Hornets. I had a Pelicans ticket minus 2.5. That cash, thank you, Jesus. But I think we get back to regular schedule program with the Pelicans right here. I think this is a bad spot for them. Going on the road to Dallas. I'm really not too in love with laying 7.5 points with the Dallas Mavericks, but I just think head and shoulders, they are the better basketball team, and they're not going to keep on selling at home. I just don't think Jason Kidd's going to allow that. They're not going to keep on selling at home. So not going to spend too much time on this game. It would be Mavericks minus 7.5 or nothing right here. Not really too in love with that total right there, just because it's, so many injuries and stuff like that. But like I said, if I had to pick a side, I'd lean Mavericks minus the 7.5. Probably won't even watch this game right here. Next game up, we got the Miami Heat at the Denver Chicken Nuggets. Nuggets are currently favored by 9.5, over under 242.5. Damn, that's high total. Quick injury news for the Denver Nuggets. Jamal Murray is listed as probable, so he will most likely suit up for this game. Norman Powell is back for the Miami Heat. That's really, really good for them. I know Kaspers Yakichonis, their rookie. He is a game time decision for the Miami Heat. Man, I do love me some Miami Heat basketball, man. They show that they can score with anybody. They can score with anybody. But what do we like to do when Denver is playing at home? I don't care who you are. Denver just plays a different brand of basketball at the Ball Arena. They just do. And I'm going to lay the points with the Nuggets minus the 9.5. I just think that they are just going to have too much for the Miami Heat. Even though that is a really, really high spread against a Miami Heat team who's playing great basketball here. They're playing great basketball. It's just they're at Denver. I gotta stick with Denver, man. They're money makers at home. That total is high as hell too, 242.5. I can very easily see that go over, and I can also see it going under. So no play on the total for me, but it'd be the Nuggets minus 9.5. Am I in love with it? No, but just off of what I know, I'm not fading the Nuggets in Denver. I'm just not doing it. So it would be the Nuggets minus 9.5 or nothing right here. I think the Nuggets blow the doors off the Miami Heat right now. Even though the Miami Heat can score with anyone, I just don't think they're going to have enough, especially since Jamal Murray is going to suit up tonight. That's a big get for the Nuggets. I think the Nuggets take the Miami Heat behind the woodshed tonight in this one. Next game up, we have the Oklahoma City Thunder at the Portland Trailblazers. 10 o'clock p.m. EST game. Thunder currently favored by 5.5, over under 228.5. Quick injury news for the Portland Trailblazers. Shaedon Sharpe is listed as probable, so he most likely will suit up for this game. Big get for the Trailblazers. And Oklahoma City is on a back-to-back with travel. Coming from the game in LA, going to Portland, it's just a bad spot for the Thunder. Honestly, I think the Thunder take their first loss tonight, right here. I really, really do. I really do think the Thunder take their first loss tonight. I know Portland lost their last home game against the Lakers, but Luka's just been a different animal, and I know Shea has too, but Luka's been on a different level. Luka has been unstoppable. I didn't want to fade Luka in that spot, but like I said, the Lakers are coming off a back-to-back with travel going to Portland. And the Lakers won the game outright and covered. I was on the fence about that game, but ended up betting Portland just because Portland is a very, very tough place to play at night. And especially when teams are coming off a back-to-back, having to go play them. I just thought it was a good spot for Portland. They hung around in that game. That game was going back and forth. It's just the Lakers just put it on them late and ended up leaving with the outright win and the cover. I don't think that happens tonight here. I really don't. Thunder played a really, really close game with the Clippers to about the late third, fourth quarter. They ended up blowing the doors off them. Like I said, the Clippers stink. They're on the do not bet list. Like I said, didn't care if it was in LA. Clippers are terrible. They are a terrible team with a good roster right now. They're not good right now. But Thunder coming to the Trailblazers right now, and you're giving me 5.5 points with Portland, and Oklahoma City is on a back-to-back with travel. Yeah. Give me the Portland Trailblazers plus a 5.5 and sprinkle a little bit on Portland to get the outright win tonight in this one. Next game up, we had the Golden State Warriors at the Sacramento Kings. 10 o'clock p.m. EST game. Sacramento currently favored by 2.5, over under 227.5. Quick injury news for the Golden State Warriors. Jimmy Butler is a game-time decision. So keep a lookout for that. Stephen Curry is still out. Domantas Sabonis and Zach LaVine are both game-time decisions for the Kings here. Just keep an eye out on the injury report. I mean, it's ugly for both teams. And Golden State is on a back-to-back with travel. Even though they don't have to really travel that far, they're still on a back-to-back. It'd be Sacramento minus the 2.5 right here. I think this is a bad spot for Golden State. I think this is a really, really bad spot for Golden State, especially if Jimmy Butler doesn't play in this game. I'm just going to sit right here and lean the Kings. And two, the Warriors like to play down to their competition anyway. Like I said, I'm really not too in love with this game just because of that injury report. Like I said, it's really, really bad for both teams. That total is really, really low for a reason. I just think Sacramento can get it done, and I know that is nasty work laying 2.5 with the Kings. My goodness, that's really bad. But I think Sabonis and Zach LaVine do end up playing in this game, and I think it balloons to about 5.5, 6. So if you like the Kings tonight, I'd probably get it right now while it's still at 2.5 before tip. So, yeah, not going to spend too much time on this game with an injury report like that. Really disgusting, but I would lean Sacramento minus the 2.5 in this one and just keep an eye on that injury report before you place anything. But Sacramento minus 2.5 for me in this one. Then our last game of the day, we got my favorite team, the San Antonio Spurs at the Los Angeles Lakers. 10 o'clock p.m. EST game. Lakers are currently favored by 2.5. Over under 228.5. Quick energy news for the Spurs. Jeremy Sochan, Lindy Waters III, and Kelly Olynyk are all game time decisions. Austin Reeves is also a game time decision for the Lakers. So just watch out for that. That is a huge, huge loss. I think he's averaging 30 points per game for the Lakers. So that'd be a huge loss for them. And honestly, if Austin Reeves is out, I wouldn't be surprised if the Spurs are favored, honestly. And you have Jackson Hayes, who was listed as probable, so he's most likely going to suit up for this game. I don't like betting on my favorite team because, I just don't like doing it. Like, if I were to bet the Lakers right here, I wouldn't feel comfortable because I want my team to win. I want my team to win, but I know I have a Lakers minus 2.5 bet. I just don't like doing it. So I will not be betting this game. I obviously will be tuning into this game. But gun to my head, if I had to pick, like I said, man, Luka's just been on another level. Doesn't matter if it's just him doing everything. He's just been on another level. But I am going to lean San Antonio here. I just think that our rotational players are better. I just do. I think we do enough, and I think that we really key in on Luka right here. And we pretty much are like, listen, Rui Hachimura is going to have to beat us. Luka's not going to be a factor in this game. He will, but I guarantee you Mitch Johnson is really going to key in on him defensively and listen, if we stop Luka, we're going to win this game. And I think we do. I think we win the game outright. I would take the Spurs plus 2.5, sprinkle a little bit on that Spurs outright money line to win the game on the road. Like I said, if Austin Reeves plays, then I'd be a little skeptical about this game. Because I still feel like it can go either way. But with Austin Reeves being a game time decision, really, really bad. And like I said, the Spurs can get some of their key rotational pieces back in this game. And Sochan, Lindy Waters III, and Kelly Olynyk. If all those guys suit up, that just adds more to the rotation. I know Dylan Harper's going to miss some time. Still no De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox should play sometime this month. But not in this one right here. But I think that we do just enough. I think Jordan McLaughlin can really run that second team. And if we can get a good game from Stephon Castle, I don't think Wembanyama's going to shoot as bad as he did last game. I don't think he will in Phoenix. So, yeah, give me the Spurs, the way the injury report's looking. Give me the Spurs plus the 2.5 and sprinkle a little bit of money on the Spurs. Outright money line in this one. And that's going to wrap it up for my NBA picks and predictions for November 5th. Excuse me. If you want my exclusive bet picks, link will be in the description to the Discord. That Discord is also featuring at Marky Picks. He is also in there giving out free player prop plays and NFL and college and everything. We got everything in there. So really tap in to that. Also, please like, subscribe, and share these videos. It really helps me out and it helps out the algorithm to get these videos out to more people like you. Without further ado, my name is Deshaun Raw, host of the Belt of the Books YouTube channel, and I'm out of here.